Hello, I am Joe, the author of the Wellspring Immortal.
And I am Albert.
I am looking forward to telling you about my book.
And Joe, I will give you a proper interrogation, that I will guarantee.
That's okay with me. I'm accustomed to you by now, and though we often disagree, your questions are usually insightful.
Let's start by you telling me what it's about.
Broadly, it's about people who never die.
That's not possible. Everyone dies.
Is it too late to retract that compliment about your questions?
Ha ha. I get it now. Your book is about vampires or zombies or some such.
No, but those legends might have the Wellspring as their basis.
I don't understand.
The Wellspring Immortal provides an all-new explanation of earthly immortality.
Oh my. Hasn't this sticky wicket been gone over 1,000,000 times already?
Not like this. Have you ever noticed how stories that deal with immortality always demand enormous lapses in logic?
Like if everybody who gets bitten becomes a vampire, why isn't everybody in the world a damn vampire by now?
So perfectly right on.
Or, if immortality came from drinking from a spring in the woods, wouldn't the planet be overrun with animals and insects that live forever?
And you know word would get out, and there would be a trillion effing immortals crawling all over each other.
You bet your sweet BP.
Worse yet, how about werewolves? Like nobody could ever make a silver bullet.
Even more ridiculously, a Highlander can be killed by chopping his head off. All a kilt-wearing Scotsman needs to do is sneak up from behind, and whack-a-doodle-doo.
In my book, it is very hard to kill an immortal.
How so?
The Wellspring is where the immortality comes from, and is the only place where it can be lost. And most wellsprings are in remote places.
What makes a wellspring so special?
There are forces of good and evil within the earth that usually emerge from the ground in equal measure. When this is the case, they do no harm.
So what happens at the wellspring?
When evil is the dominant force, and human sacrifice is performed there, a third, magical energy is summoned from below.
Making the killer immortal, I suppose?
Yes, and by so doing, he becomes what is known as a sachem.
And to be sure I understand, for their lives to end, they can only be killed at a wellspring.
Yes, and when they kill at one, they lapse into a deep sleep, which leaves them totally vulnerable to attack.
So what they want the most has the potential to do them the most harm.
Yes, a little like what plagues far too many of us.
How does the magic work?
The sacrifice robs the victim of his life spirit, which the sachem takes for himself. The more he collects, the greater his power.
So, do the sachem prey upon one another?
Yes. Besides being tortured by insatiable desire, they can trust no one, and must murder people to get what they need.
When is your story set?
Sometime in the Middle Ages, and it involves American Indians.
Who are the main characters?
The story opens with Kani, his tribe's leader, who has had the magic for 1,200 years.
That is a long time.
Indeed, it is, and he can no longer stand this existence.
What does he do?
He brings his young student, Pico, to the wellspring, where he plans for the boy to slay him.
Will he inherit all the powers of his teacher?
Yes. Along the way the boy is betrayed, others try to kill him, and he is pitted against ancient forces of evil.
It sounds like an interesting concept. Where can I get a copy?
Okay. You can order a copy from Amazon, either in paperback or for your Kindle.
And what's the title again?
It's the Wellspring Immortal. You can also read about it on Goodreads if you want.
Is it expensive?
The book cost about as much as a shot of cheap scotch at a good hotel, and the Kindle is even less. Free if you were a Prime customer.
Is it really a totally new paradigm for immortality?
Yes, it is unique and new. It is the beginning of a series that will last, well, forever.
I hope so, but nothing lasts forever, my dear friend.
Don't be so sure. I might be a sachem for all you know. Good night, everyone.
Good night. See you next time, when we talk about
serious matters. Good night now.
Good night.